DJ PK, the Utah Jazz lost last night to the Clippers. They sat Nurkic and they sat Keyonte George, and as PK likes to point out, they sat
Sevi Malahuluk.
Better known as Svi Mikhailuk, but
if you never know what PK's going to say,
I know.
Either tries or doesn't really try to pronounce Svi's name.
But Taylor Hendricks played.
Yeah, all right.
He had 3 turnovers, 0 for 4 from the field, 0 for 3 from 3. He did have a rebound, 2 assists. Seems like a wasted season for him, but see what happens going forward. Not ready to close the door on him. Cody Williams had that dunk.
That was awesome. Up and under, and he threw it down, and there's the athleticism. Everybody says, ooh.
That reminded me of BYU in like 2003, 2004.
What about that drive in the third quarter? Yeah.
Yeah, that reverse baseline dunk. That was impressive.
It was. It was a highly athletic play.
6'7", he ought to be able to do that. Want to see more, way more. But, they got what they were looking for. It was a loss.
Is it okay that they got the loss and they sat Keyonte, or does it bug you?
Well, it does bug me a little bit for Keyonte George because he has shown so much, right? He ought to be on the list of most improved, and I'd have to go through and see who else is on the list. And I don't want to do that right now, maybe as we get to March and April. But we're watching him every game that he plays, obviously, and it's apparent that he has taken a quantum leap forward. There's no question about it, right? And I want to get to the point where when we get to game 82 and it's over, it's done, recorded in history forever, that we will say, without question, this was a great breakout season. And I know it's only one game, so I'm not highlighting one game. I'm looking at how many games they've got left, 30-something, and I know they got to do it. And so I'm not complaining. I'm not ripping or criticizing them for doing it. I'm supporting it 100%. But sit Nurkic all you want. But Keyonte, I just want that to be undisputed. This kid is a star in the making. He played 76 games or whatever it might be, and 10 of them were not good. The rest of them were not only good, they were borderline great. We've got something. He is a critical component and a piece going forward that we will not only expect, we will count on. We will write it in pen.
I love me some stats. Keyonte, from the stats perspective, has arrived. But when it comes to winning in the NBA, you got to be able to problem solve. And whether somebody has 23, 25, 27 points, whatever, can you problem solve? And when you have a problem, and
I'm
right
a problem
now,
child.
Right now, they're having problems in the third quarter. But eventually, it'll come down to the final 5 minutes and the final minute. And there were people on other teams, and you got sick of seeing them do it. But like, Kobe figured out how to get big buckets in the last 2 minutes. Tim Duncan figured out how to get a big bucket in the last 2 minutes. And right now, and Will Hardy just talked about it, we played the clip in the last hour, it's like the focus isn't there, right? And so the more reps Keyonte gets, the more it's kind of like he needs to walk out there as the leader. It's a young team, but nonetheless, as one of the leaders of the team, and be thinking, hey, we've had problems in the third quarter. What are the problems, and how do we solve them? And reps help with that. And sitting on the bench, you can learn some things, you can observe some things, but nothing really beats doing it and playing. And so it's just like that was a lost opportunity. And I get it. The hardest thing to do building a team is to get the elite player at the top. You always talk about how much you do or don't trust management of whatever team, right? And you got high trust in Austin Ainge and in Danny Ainge, right? I completely trust them to find rotation guys where other people miss them. And I completely trust them to develop this. We're seeing them do that. You already knew it from Boston, but if you weren't watching because you're just totally the Jazz your whole NBA experience, you've seen them do it here. And I trust them to find starters. But the hardest thing is to, find and identify that elite guy. And a lot of times everybody's identified him, right? You just got to be lucky to get Victor Wembanyama. Everybody identified him. Maybe you can find somebody later. It's really hard to do. It has been done. The Jazz did it with Stockton and Malone. The reason I'm okay with them losing now is this pick in this draft, it seems like there's a chance to get lucky and get a guy who most people have identified. But it doesn't matter. If you get him, your program goes leaps and bounds forward. If you don't, you keep working to get better. As you always say, the job never changes. You have to get a little better. But at some point, you got to get somebody who's elite. You don't win big, which everybody wants here, without somebody who is truly special. And it would be a shame to win a few games and hand that over to Oklahoma City and then have them get lucky and get somebody who's truly special to add to their already championship roster.
I would, the word a shame,
that's not enough. You want something more. It would be disgusting.
I can't say it.
Revolting. It'd be bleep and bleep.
Yeah.
There it is.
Right. Join me on I do this on my own podcast. It's called Adult Times with PK.
And PK swears like crazy.
Yeah.
People would be worried to click on adult times. That could mean a lot of stuff. He's just worried about sports. Oh, okay.
I'm talking about sports. What do I know? I mean, I know a lot about love, and so I can help you there.
All right. There you go.
I've been following him since he was at UCLA.
Nice.
Nice pull. Well done. Right back around.
Put that thing up on two wheels and turn that corner.
Speaking of Kevin, of course.
Obviously.
I mean, I actually heard of him when he was in high school, and
he was a big deal.
His dad played in the NBA. His uncle was the lead singer for the Beach Boys. I've known the guy forever.
Life story.
Yeah, I think that it's imperative. It must be done, and you're more than halfway there. So you've already slogged through. Don't stop now. Tell Nurkic to go back to, where is he? Latvia, or where's the guy from? Croatia, Yugoslavia.
Wait, what was that first country?
Latvia.
Loftia.
Yeah.
LOF.
Latvia, you mean?
Latvia.
You're killing me.
Yeah.
Nurk is from Bosnia.
All right, Bosnia.
Bosnian beast.
That's on the East Coast, isn't it?
Sure.
So,
9 o'clock comes early, people. If this is your normal commute and you think PK's in a crazy mood, just show up at 9 o'clock.
Too bad he wasn't from Turkey. Then he could be Nurk to Turk. Sit those guys. Sit Sevi Balamahaluk all you want. But I know you got to sit Keyonte too.
Mark shoots down everything I just said. I think it's cute this organization still attempts to play basketball. Just remember, no matter how many losses this team accumulates, they aren't going to catch a break with the lottery. It's just the way it is.
That's not true.
Well, let's say they don't move up.
We don't know that.
Let's say they finish with a sixth-worst record where they sit now. And what if they actually draft 4th or 7th or whatever, right? And they don't really move that much.
Make moves to move up.
So that's a possibility. But what if they move back a spot because one team moves up and mostly the bad teams get a thing and they end up drafting 7th and they end up getting a really good player at 7? What if they get it? I mean, that's who's to say, right?
The charge never changes.
Yeah.
And that happens all the time. Keyonte, I think, was 14, 15, 16 in there? And right now, this kid looks like a star in the making. Now, it needs to be done within the context of a winning team. But, the way I look at it, you could argue, he hasn't hit any big shots because they're not any big games. But actually, for him, in his third year in the league, because there's so few opportunities to win games, those shots, I could argue, become even bigger. Kobe misses a game-winning shot for the Lakers. Well, whoop-de-doo, they got another one tomorrow. We don't have that many.
Just too many 30-point losses.
Right. There were no big shots to be had last night.
Nope.
And there are some games that are winnable, and he's made some big shots in those games.
This year, right. And you got to go through it.
So in a roundabout way, he's hit big shots. I shouldn't say no one, but most folks aren't really focused on it because they're a losing team. But I think everybody in the league who follows the league understands they're doing what they have to do. They're doing in the best interest of their franchise as the system dictates they do. And so it's unfortunate. It sucks. It's against the way of competition and all, but blah, blah, blah. San Antonio did it, and they're benefiting it in 3 freaking different generations now. Robinson, and then Robinson and Duncan played together. But then Robinson left, and Duncan was his own generation, and now Big Vic is a 3rd generation. So what the heck? It worked.
That's so crazy.
Right. It worked for them.
So crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
And they not only played it and rolled it right, they got lucky. And it was obvious. You can't even say necessarily that they drafted well, because it was like, well, when Magic came out, when LeBron came out, everybody knew they were going to be number one. And when Duncan came out, everybody knew he was going to be Tim Duncan was 3 years in the making. He would have been. I remember talking to Majerus on the phone when they played them his senior year. He said he would have been the number one pick all 3 years.
Yeah.
And Majerus had all those NBA contacts, and he ended up being the fourth year. Obviously, he was the number one pick. So it wasn't like it was a great draft where they had to really go to town. And you can look at the Clippers. When I lived down there and covered the Clippers, I mean, they screwed up the draft year after year, and then they get unfortunate. They get Manning, and he blows out his knee. Not once, but twice.
When they finally get it right, they get hit with the injury.
Right, and so that's bad luck. I think that you have to an extent, create your own luck. You can't sit around and wait for good luck, and I think they have. You talk about rotational players. They've got 3 right now. Out of the last 2 drafts, they've got minimum 3. They may have more, but they've got minimum 3. You've got to go with George, you got to go with Collier, and you got to go with Flipper. Those 3 guys are, I believe, rotational players on playoff teams.
They could go to a lot of clubs and find a spot.
Yeah. They may not be, first guy off, but you could use them, and they can help you win on a good team. Now, we'll see about the other guys, right? Collier, it's an underdeveloped story, but his assist-to-turnover ratio is awesome. And just 9-1 last night. He can't shoot. I get it. If he can shoot, he would have been taken in the top 5.
When he hit that 15-foot fadeaway at the free throw line, didn't you think, all right?
Well, I mean, he's not going to brick everything.
I know.
But he's not a shooter.
No, but he was 4 of 9, and you can live with that. He was 0 of 2 from 3. That's not so good, but
right. I mean, he's not, and he certainly isn't a 3-point shooter.
No,
but
and
the assist-to-turnover ratio is incredible.
It is. It blows your mind.
And
it's
so
awesome.
he has a place in. He will be a 10-year guy in this league.
And they're at the wrong spot in their rebuild for these guys. But the fact that they could identify Chris Dunn and they could identify John Collins and help those guys bounce back. Now, Collins had to bounce back a little bit. Man, Chris Dunn had to bounce away. He had to bounce back from the G League, but he was a former lottery pick. Mm-hmm. So that's the kind of thing, like, over time, you can identify these guys and you can develop. And it's up to the player, too. Obviously, Dunn deserves a lot of credit for developing. But came here, learned that the three-point shot was eluding him. He was 2 of 4 last night and thought, there's a guy who's going to start for a playoff team. Another one of the veterans you were talking about earlier in the show.
The framework of this house has been built. We just don't have the home theater, the family room with the fireplace. We don't have where you spend the majority. But we've got the toilets are built. The garage is there. The bedroom, the small bedroom down the hall. The office is built. We need that luxurious family room and home theater room. We haven't gotten that yet.
Larry, it doesn't work this year, then we lose next year, and the year after that, and the year after that, and then the culture of the team, we're the Charlotte Hornets. And I just don't think it's headed that way. And I think that's why Keyonte had to sit last night. There is a risk that Keyonte and Lowry, one or the other, or both might go off, and they might win the game. I do think...
yeah, most nights they're getting you 50.
Yeah, there is a ceiling here with this group, which is why we'll see changes in the offseason. But they could win 35 games. They could certainly win 30, and they might be able to win 35. Now, the Clippers do show, and the Jazz were shorthanded, but they do show there's still a big gulf between the Jazz and playoff teams. You can stretch this for a while, but you can't walk it out too far. The guys who are here have to get better, and they got to bring in some more people. And as you say, they still need to finish the wraparound deck and the family room and the pool.
Yeah, the special features.
Yep.
But the framework I believe, is already there.
Defensively, they've got to get
They don't
better.
have anybody.
Right. Yeah.
It's not on the roster who's dressing right now, the available roster. And with that in mind, we can step back and think, wow, it is really cool that they have to sit a mid-round 22-year-old to make sure they don't win.
because they played him a couple times and it's backfired.
That's a positive. That's not a negative. That's a positive. And when you're going through the rebuild, you have to look for the positives. And I get it's very much way easier for me to say because I don't have the emotional tie. I didn't grow up here. They're not my team. I didn't live and die by them. I will never live and die by our pro team anyway. But I certainly didn't this team. So I can step back, which I think is one of the reasons why we've been able to do this radio for as long as we have, because we have an understanding of sports. We know how it works. We talk to people, and we want them to win because it's good for business selfishly. But a lot of our friends and our neighbors are hardcore, and we want to see, at least I do, and I think you do too, we want to see them be happy in their sporting lives because that's the whole point. But at the same time, it's much easier for us to be objective because we don't have that emotional tie. My neighbor, hardcore fan, and he was over the moon that they acquired Chris Morris. And I had to bring him back and say, Raj, it's freaking Chris Morris. Don't go crazy
Pump
here.
the brakes.
Yeah.
Pump the brakes.
Right. And I can remember when we were doing 1280 and there were guys at 1320 and they acquired Gugliotta, and I'm listening to them and they're going nuts on Gugliotta.
Whoa!
It was a money deal. Gugliotta ain't gonna play for you. He's not gonna do anything. But yet they were fans and fans. So we could be objective as much as objectivity is there. And say it because we don't have that tied in emotion. So I can look at it and say, it sucks that they're losing, but the positive is they got to sit a 22-year-old because he could get in the way of winning. That's really good, a 22-year-old. What was Stockton doing at 22?
Trying to get in the starting lineup
We know
at 23.
two things we know what he wasn't doing. He wasn't starting, and he wasn't taking vaccines. Those are two things we know.
Do we?
Oh, for sure. Right? If we logic it out. I mean, I don't know literally, but if I logic it out.
Maybe he had vaccines then and then later on didn't like him. I mean, I know he didn't like him.
He would have
I know he
died
didn't
on
like
the
him in his
field
50s.
if he had him.
Yeah, that was quite a quote. Sam Farnsworth, now a veteran of the Olympics, packing his bags to leave again in a couple days, off to Italy, Milan hosting the Olympics. What's it like to cover an Olympics? What's Sam looking forward to? We will talk with him coming up at 9 o'clock. And Tim Lacombe, jazz analyst for SEG Media, former BYU basketball coach. We'll talk rebuild with him, and we'll talk BYU getting ready to play nationally ranked Kansas. Arizona, that was something, but it's the Big 12, so right back in to face another ranked team coming up. DJ and PK coming up next. How does the legend not get in on the first ballot? Stick around.
Hey, bro.
You hear us every day with our crazy opinions.
Hey, what you doing?
Well, now it's time to hear from you.
Hey, great show.
Download the KSL Sports app and fire off your thoughts with the call-in tab on the bottom of your screen.
This show is fantastic. It's the one that captivates me the most.
You can tell PK to stop singing.
G-Bang!
Let Jake and Ben know what you really think of the Jazz. Tell Hans and Scotty about your favorite barbecue spot or what color of tie JJ should be wearing on TV. The best entries will be played on the air. Download the KSL Sports app now and hit the call-in button to let your voice be heard.
I think you guys do an incredible job.
This is 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
To win tickets Wednesday, caller 12-801-575-ZONE will win a 4-pack of tickets to watch Pro Bowl riders and the Unleash the Beast Tour at the Delta Center on February 6th. Call right now, 801-575-ZONE, 801-575-9663. So the question everybody's debating, why wouldn't Bill Belichick be a first-ballot Hall of Famer? There are many potential reasons. David, I think, goes to one that a lot of people went to right away. Jealousy, maybe. A lot of people didn't like him.
Oh,
Sure.
Now they don't like him even more. He got Jordan. He's got the GOAT. He's got Jordan.
Michael Jordan?
No, isn't that her name?
North Carolina. I knew what you were getting at.
Oh, you did?
They got a North Carolina tie there.
Well, she's a North Carolina tie.
Yeah. Hey-o.
Quite the knot.
Ryan says voter pettiness, especially media who feels slighted by his approach to that very media. Blame it on the media. Ironically, most people are blaming it on Bill Polian, who says he's innocent. I don't know that media has all the votes for this thing. Bill Polian, longtime NFL general manager. Some anonymous voter out there says he thought that Polian thought Belichick should wait a year, and they went to Polian, and Polian said, no, I voted for him. So,
why?
blame the media.
But Bill Polian has an opinion, and that influenced the voters?
In the tight circle of Hall of Fame voters, could he have talked to a few of them? Because those people
Why is
talk?
it such a tight circle?
It's the world of football. People know each other. Over the course of 40 years, you work with a lot of people. You come across, you stand on the sidelines with a lot of people.
I know Hall of Fame voters.
Yep.
And they don't speak with people.
See?
They speak with their friends.
Yeah.
If you, for instance, if you are a 10-year beat writer in MLB,
Then you can vote for the Baseball Hall of Fame.
yeah. But they don't associate one with another.
Yeah.
That's like Heisman voters.
They don't all know
Ty
each other.
Detmer talking to Barry
So
Sanders?
this is a much tighter circle. Apparently, there's only 50 voters, and you got to get 40 of them. Whereas the Heisman, there's
Well, however many.
yeah.
I mean, all the ex-players have a vote, right?
Caleb says it's because Brady carried him. Brady's getting the credit, not Belichick. Brady left, went to Tampa, and won. Belichick's teams quickly became terrible in New England, and now Vrabel has turned things around 2 years after Bills. I mean, they had another game between, but
So
turned it around quickly.
Vrabel's success is impacting Belichick?
Brady carried him. Yeah.
I think the one thing that we're missing here is that you had Spygate and Deflategate. So there's
There it
two
is.
instances of cheating, and we make a big, big deal about some cheating, and we look the other way on others. For instance, Carlos Beltran
100%.
got in and was a known cheater in Houston. I believe he lost his job as the manager of the Mets because of that, right? But he got in, and so that cheating was okay, but this cheating over here with, and we know the pronounced players with the home runs and Clemens and all that, that was just, oh my gosh, you were just the worst of the
And
worst.
the football players using steroids, nobody really bats an eye. Gonna miss 4 games, huh? All right, well, I got him on my fantasy team. When's he back? Nobody seemed to care. But the baseball numbers are sacred, and people were outraged. So there you go.
I know, but
not outraged about the football players. I get it.
But over here, if you're getting the signs, that's going to increase your stats.
I think Deflategate mostly fell on Brady, and Belichick helped put it there. So ask Brady or ask Tom.
But if they're
whatever he said.
spying and knowing the plays that are coming.
Spying, I think, is a huge, gigantic red flag. That you would have someone sneak into the stadium and film because I think the Super Bowl was in a dome, and film the Rams, then St. Louis Rams, practices and know their plays ahead of time. Huge red flag. Massive. That is, I think that goes right up there with what the Astros did. There are people who are not going to ever forget that. They're not. Some stuff over time, maybe fine. It lightens up. But, man, I think people are always going to look at the Astros and the Patriots with the Spygate thing. I think Deflategate's the kind of thing that over time, really, if football had a little less air in it, really? And the way they swap footballs in and out during a game and both teams and special balls for kicking, I just don't think it resonates the same way. Whereas I think sneaking into the other team's practice, whatever sport you're playing, like, that's not okay.
So you're justifying cheating because it's not as bad as another form of cheating.
Oh, I think we do that all the time.
And you're doing it right now.
Yes. But I think Spygate is like the highest form of an absolute no-no.
Well, then why have rules?
I don't know. Why do we have fines, misdemeanors, and violations and felonies? And to me, the Spygate seems like a felony.
Well, that's
rules.
real life.
Well, I know, but in real life, there are levels to the rules.
Sure. Right. I get that. But this isn't real life. But this isn't real life. You can't compare because there's no such thing you could do in sports that is a felony.
I think spying on the other team's practice before the Super Bowl is a felony. And if you don't see it that way, that's fine. Yeah, okay. And the other thing with this is it really that many people cracking on Belichick? I mean, I don't think anybody expected him to be unanimous. And at the same time, for all we know, he had 39 votes. I don't think they revealed the vote total yet. I don't know if they ever do. I don't know how that works. he could be sitting on 39 votes, 1 vote short. So this could be a small handful of people who, for whatever reason,
well, by definition, if there's only 50 people and there's 370 million people in the country, it is a small group.
And it might not even be 50 people. It might be like 3 people. That could be the difference between him getting in. Because if he were a first ballot Hall of Famer, no one would care that 8, 9, or 10 people didn't vote for him. He literally might be 1 vote away. Maybe he's 3 away.
I think they do. I mean, that one dude who didn't vote for Shaq and gave it to Iverson, Nick something or other, when CNN used to be a news organization in sports, he got a lot of a run for not voting for that. And,
Nick Charles. There it is.
Yeah. So I think if he did get in and there wasn't, because now there can only be one if he was 10 people instead of 1, you're not going to crack on 10 people, right? Because you're saying he could have gotten, 11 people. You got to get 40. So that meant 11 people could have voted against him. Well, if 11 people vote against you, that's a lot different than, or not vote for you, I guess is what it is. Yeah. Is that's a lot different than 1 on that.
There are people who say that this whole thing comes down to the fact that the Hall of Fame voters, the way they do it, I guess, in football, which I wasn't aware of until I read this, that you vote for 3 people. So there may be people that think he should be a Hall of Famer, but I just think these 3 people are more deserving. 3? Well, any 3 on the ballot. You can pick any 3. I don't know. I have to go look at the ballot.
Who got in?
We don't know yet.
We just know that Bill isn't.
Yeah, and the reality is if he gets in next year, and
second ballot, first ballot.
And 20 years from now, he'll be dead, obviously. But however long he lives, no one's going to care. I mean, Jeff Kent gets in on some special 16-member committee. Well, come the last Sunday in July, he's going to be standing up there with
you get to do your speech,
Beltran and Andrew Jones.
You get your jacket, you get your bust, whatever each hall does.
Right.
It's like at that point, everybody's crying. You're thanking some high school coach who may or may not be alive.
Yeah, you get the opportunity to have that speech. You get your moment in the sun, so to speak, and then you're immortalized, and you go to Cooperstown forever and ever, and you're going to be there. I'm going to tell you about I read a story. Sports Illustrated, they used to have a little thing at the back of the magazine, and there was this guy. They did this thing on. They remodeled the Cooperstown, right? And so they moved some exhibits around, and they found a baseball card of some minor leaguer, and it said it fell between the cracks.
Yeah.
And it said, "Dad, you made the Hall of Fame." And they traced it back to the guy, and the guy said he was my Hall of Fame dad, and I wanted him in the Hall of Fame. And so I took that card in there and slipped it in, and it sat in there for 20, 30, 40 years.
It's pretty cool.
Until they remodeled it. And
pulling stuff away from the wall.
And they saw this thing on the floor, and Sports Illustrated did a story on the guy. The actual player was deceased, but his son who did it, and they traced it back, called him up, and then, so why'd you do this? And he told them. It was a real touching story on that. It was cool that the guy thought to do that. But so he'll get in. I don't think it's anything that they're not going to vote him in, right?
They've got coaches. I would expect he'd get in. I thought he would have gotten in the first time. The story, Yahoo did the story about how the process works. And so coaches have been separated out from players, but they're not separated out from senior players. So when they're in this group, they're voting, they have to decide, okay, do I vote for Ken Anderson, who took the Bengals to 2 Super Bowls? Do I vote for Roger Craig, who was a running back with the Niners in their glory years? L.C. Greenwood from the Steelers.
The curtain?
The steel curtain. Back in the 70s.
Polian said he voted for Greenwood. He said that was the player that he voted for as he was trying to defend himself against the Belichick stuff. So each of these people, as you point out, have their own motivations for who they're going to go for.
I don't understand how Polian would have been a trigger point. He doesn't control who votes. and what their votes are.
50 people vote. He's got one of them. It's like Tony Dungy has a vote.
Dungy's on
Like
there.
they give votes to media members, but a lot of the media members are media members because they're former players and coaches.
Jason Cole, who we've had on for years, has been in this pool.
Yeah, and
for a
he's
long
truly
time.
a media member, right? I'm going to say Tony Dungy. You
And
know you've
a
watched him on
social
TV.
activist, I might add.
All right. Thanks for that. Thanks for that note.
Well, he wants to be, apparently. Got something to say on all that.
On all the social media. Yeah.
Yeah. He leans, I wouldn't say lean. I'd say he stands firm on one side. And he's a media member, so you can guess which side.
See? Put 2 and 2 together.
It'll always equal 4.
There it is.
Yeah. So Bill will have his day. What will be interesting is that, he's been a grump and he's made life hard on the stupid press conferences, which go for like 10, 15 minutes. Just answer a few questions and then it's over instead of, we're on to Cincinnati. What's his speech going to be like? Is he going to be...
He'll be eloquent.
I don't know.
The other dynamic at play here is Robert Kraft is up for the Hall of Fame this year as well. That could be an interesting dynamic if he goes in, but Bill does not.
Hall of Fame owner?
Yeah.
Contributions to football.
Is that what it is?
That's what the owners get in for. For all they've done for the league for all these years. There are some owners who, in those circles, have helped the league, whether it's rules committee or money. I mean, Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones has made the league a lot of money. Read stories occasionally about the ways he pushed the league. Like there used to be I can't remember which one, but it was either Pepsi or Coke had the sponsorship for the NFL, and they told him, well, you can't have a soft drink sponsor for the Cowboys because we already have one for the league. He's like, why not? And eventually, he convinced the room, and they did it, and they all made more money. So you got your official NFL sponsor, and then different teams aligned with different companies, and that's just one category. Apparently, they've done that all over the place. Yeah, and something about some Jerry Jones profile was in it.
Okay. Don't get defensive.
Too late. DJ PK coming up, top of the hour. Sam Farnsworth. He would have if he'd seen it. Sam Farnsworth. Anchor KSL Sports headed to Milan to cover the Olympics. What's it like to hit the road for a month?
An anchor where?
KSL.
Oh.
Things you never would have known if I hadn't told you. Tim Lacombe, Jazz analyst for SEG Media on BYU, bouncing back after the Arizona loss and trying to beat Kansas this weekend on the road. We'll talk with him at 9:30. Stay with us.
This is JJ and Alex.
I got this. Join us on the program right now. Jonathan Tavernari, BYU great.
BYU doesn't really have a marquee win this year, which it's a knock on them. It's an issue that they're facing right now. They couldn't get the job done against number 15 Texas Tech on the road, couldn't get the job done against number 3 UConn on the neutral side, and couldn't get the job done at home against number 1 Arizona. This is a roster made up for you to get to the Sweet 16, the Elite 8, the Final Four. And so expectations have to be counted on. And so at that point, BYU doesn't have really something that they can hang their head on yet, which is what makes the Saturday matchup in Kansas beyond important. Is BYU worthy of a top 4, NCAA seeding? There is a lot at stake on Saturday, more than just a win on the road on the Big 12.
Catch JJ and Alex afternoons from 3 to 7 on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
The Mr. Mac Utah County High School Players of the Week. This week, J.C. Carlson from Mountain View and Dean Ruckert from Timpview. Carlson scored 23 points in a win over Provo, followed up with 21 in a rivalry win over Timpanogos. Ruckert went off for 31 points in a win at Salem Hills before tallying 9 in a facilitator role in the win over Maple Mountain. Utah County Player of the Week award, proudly presented by Mr. Mac. No one buys, no one sells, no one cares the way they do. Absolutely no one. Breaking news, PK. You couldn't be more excited. The Cleveland Browns have a new head coach. What? Todd Monken doesn't do it for you?
I don't know if he does it for me. Maybe he will do it for me. I don't get excited on any of these, nor do I say, oh my gosh, that's just awful. You never know. Some you have a better idea. Like Vrabel was a tough guy, and he instilled toughness in the Patriots.
He'd won in Tennessee. You had an idea
Yeah.
that he would do well.
You know, I expect Harbaugh to make the Giants better. He has almost a 2-decade track record.
Mike McDonald in Seattle, total unknown. No idea. Here they are in the Super Bowl.
Right. He's 38 years old. Shanahan and McVay came from, they had family in the business, obviously, to get them in the business. But, they were largely, as a head coach, unproven, and they're thought of extremely highly now. I like having guys who have grinded and worked and then get an opportunity to do it, whatever level. I don't care what it is. I don't care what the gender is. That they've just been working head down, doing all that they possibly can. So I like to see those folks get an opportunity to run a program.
Because it reminds you of taking a job out in the desert.
Yeah, and
then move into a city where you didn't know anybody.
And then do all that type of stuff.
Well, he's done that. Offensive coordinator, University of Georgia, for the Browns, for the Bucks, back to Oklahoma State, Eastern Michigan, the Baltimore Ravens. He was head coach at Southern Miss. So that's a guy who has done the coaching grind and moved around.
John
with
Harbaugh had hired him as his OC.
And he'd been with the Browns back in 2019, so it wasn't that long ago.
And he's going into a situation where he's got a Pro Bowl quarterback.
He's played 8 games and was fourth string and getting 0 snaps.
And has a QBR of 18.1.
He's a Pro Bowl quarterback, and you idiots are hitting me with stats.
You're welcome. I gave you analytics. I didn't give you stats.
Give me anything better than freaking stupid stats.
Wait a minute. Let's not. I didn't give you stats. I gave you analytics.
Which are stats.
Thank you. Thanks. Let's not obscure that for a moment.
So, I'm
good one.
If I'm Monken, I'm walking into a situation with a Pro Bowl quarterback.
Yeah. Okay.
And how many Pro Bowl quarterbacks have their college number retired?
Oh my gosh. Are we really going here?
Yep. There we are.
So I'm dealing with facts. You're dealing with convoluted numbers.
As the double crown winner of our NFL Survivor Pool, you pick Cleveland all you want next year, sir. I'm not picking them.
I'm going with hard, unadulterated, inarguable facts.
Well, the rules are he can only pick them once.
Well, he can go with whenever he wants.
So I'm delivering right now true facts. I'm giving you a quarterback who's in the Pro Bowl and had his number retired.
I cannot argue that he it's a true fact. He is a Pro Bowl
Has
quarterback.
Michigan retired Tom Brady's number?
No.
Oh, man. I don't know. Let's ask Kyle. He ought to have encyclopedic knowledge of Michigan football history by now.
This is 7. He watched them play when he was 7. He said, the Michigan, Ohio State, that is the greatest.
I remember.
Is this like his Beatles moment, too?
He's 4 years old. He remembers it vividly.
Is Kyle going to bring back Michigan, Notre Dame? They're not playing anymore.
I don't think he's in charge of that.
Oh, he could lean into it. He's the head coach. He's got say.
I don't think he cares about that.
Oh, he'd love to take Michigan onto the field at South Bend.
Sure. But on the list of priorities.
He's got a lot to do before this season. I get it. The next time they could play, they're both booked out for 3 years. But in 4 years, they could play. They could do a home and home.
I mean, he has to show up at every Michigan home game in every sport.
It was awesome. I'm sitting there on Friday night, minding my own business, watching Utah State and CSU, and they're doing halftime highlights. Ohio State, Michigan. Kyle Whittingham. And Kyle's shaking somebody's hand.
Yeah.
Nice.
My wife texted him last week. Why every time I'm on TV do I see you?
Because I'm the Michigan football coach. That's the name of that.
You are all over the place, man. He's gotten, just in less than a month, because we're not even a month. Oh, you were just over a month that he took the job. He's got
a month
more
and 2 days.
national exposure
Yeah.
than all the time at Utah.
It's I struggle to remember the dates and specifics. You're really good at that kind of stuff, but him I can remember because it's the day after Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
So that one I can hold on to.
Yeah,
got a marker.
Right, for sure.
All right, DJ and PK. You know what happened 30 years ago today? Sports history.
Super Bowl.
The end of an era. Yes, Cowboys won their third time in 4 years, which is awesome. Just like the Steelers didn't pull that off. Montana and the Niners didn't pull that off. 3 titles, sure, but not in 4 years. And they've only won 5 playoff games since in 30 years. So.
Oh, darn.
Yeah, there it is. Cowboys beat the Steelers, which I actually think that game was in
It was
in Arizona. Yeah. All right, DJ and PK. When we come back, Sam Farnsworth, anchor for KSL Sports, headed to the Milan Olympics. What's it like to cover the Olympics and be there on the ground in the town? We'll talk with him next. Stay with us.